Yeah, I'm trying to get back into my drawing, so. I do it periodically, but I'm also an indie maker. You may or may not have seen some of our productions from Pixel Blended. If you did, you're going to see a lot of them at Otakon.
Oh, goodness. If we were going to Otakon. We did that last year. Yeah. We're actually from Savannah, so it's a long drive there.
No.
Are you all from Savannah, too?
You. You're from Midtown.
Oh, I'm from Charlotte. That's not that bad. Yeah. So I'm from Cincinnati. So. High five from Ohio. I'm actually from Dayton, so.
Welcome back, good friend.
Yeah, you sure I'm back.
This is not a panel on Who Am I? This is a panel on Comic Craft. Okay. But who am I is an important question for that.
I know, this is like kind of scary now.
I know.
Oh no! Just remember, be Minimum Shinigami.
Everyone keeps looking. You guys can come in. We're not terrified.
You have to come in here now.
We're a little bit. Okay,
Yeah,
I'm
don't
terrified.
stay outside.
Oh dear God. Let me sit inside here. I'm going to teach you how to draw comics and make wonderful things.
Well then, I'll go ahead and start. Who the crap am I? My name is Heidi Black, which probably doesn't mean anything to any of you.
Yes.
Yes. I'm actually a TA and a graduate student at the Savannah College of Art and Design in sequential art, which is the fancy term for comics. Comics, storyboarding, character art, and concept design, and stuff like that. So, I will have a master's in comics in a couple months. And I also have several comics that, several web comics, Spitfire, Iron Henry, and yes, and Damage Phillips, which is very slowly getting out there too.
And I'm her heterosexual life partner, Becca Hilburn. I'm also a graduate student at the Savannah College of Art and Design. I've TA'd in self-publishing, and I've taught comics and anatomy to middle school kids. And I am sitting next to her in the artist alley. I don't have any webcomics right now, but I have a comic process blog. Keep on checking that out soon. And I gave the anatomy panel yesterday.
So you have credentials that rival the voice actors at this convention.
Don't tell me that. Yeah.
In comparison to the other panelists.
No, we actually kind of know it. So, I'm going to actually tell you guys the two things I'm going to go through today. I'm going to talk about the supplies for making comics and then the process for making comics. I'm not going to get into like more advanced stuff like shot choices or things like that unless you guys want me to. In which case, pipe up, ask questions. In fact, if you've got questions at any point, be like, what the crap are you talking about? So, let's make some fun. Paper is probably the first thing you will need. I'm going to go with the supplies first. There's all kinds of different papers you can use. When I start out doing thumbnails, which is the very first part of making comics, I mean, I just use 24-pound copy paper. And, you know, when I first started drawing, that's what I used all the time anyway. I eventually switched to cardstock, which is just heavier duty. It's not necessarily nicer paper, it's just thicker.
Actually, I've heard a lot of our professors kind of recommend cardstock. If you're one of those kind of artists who don't do like nib and brush and you do like tech pen, cardstock is fine.
Yeah,
it's just finding it in the size you want to use.
It's just cardstock won't take, if you use nib and brush, it doesn't take it quite as well. It'll angle spider well, but but if you use like microns or Copic pens, I'm sure you guys are familiar with these.
Yes.
Then that'll be fine. You can get fancy and get manga paper from Japan. It comes in.
It's actually terrible.
Some of it is.
In my opinion, and for the things I've done with it,
Yeah.
it doesn't take Copic. It doesn't really like brush pen. It doesn't like brush. It doesn't like nib. It spiders
What is
really
nib?
bad. This
Yes.
like
Indian stuff?
yeah.
Oh.
I've got some that are not put together. You get a pen holder, and I'll talk about these more later. And you have various nibs, and you stick them together to make
Voltron. Actually,
Yes,
they're very
no.
different.
I have some calligraphy nibs and some not calligraphy nibs. I'll talk about them later, so we'll hold off
And
on
I
that.
have a bunch of myself with me.
She's actually working right now. So.
I imagine the manga paper is just the cheapest thing that they can buy.
Yeah, some of it's a little nicer when you get to like the 135 gram stuff, which is about 65 pound paper. Do you guys know about the pound paper system? No. Okay, the higher the number, the heavier paper it is. It's how much it weighs when you have 500 sheets of the uncut paper, so it's like full, large slice paper. 20 pound is your normal copy paper. 32 pound you can buy in still like Office Max and stuff, and it's just slightly thicker. They have to press it more, so it's a little bit heavier. When you get into the even heavier papers, they're generally run through the paper press more, so it'll be stiffer and a little bit better. Copic also makes the manga paper. I've never tried it.
Don't care for it.
Okay, she doesn't like it. I actually have some of this Max Summon Believer paper at home. I've worked on it before. It's not the worst thing ever, but
I think I have the leader pack at my table. If you guys want to come by and get a sheet, it's like teeny tiny. I don't care for it, but I'll do sketch commissions on it, and I'll just give you a sheet if you want to try it out.
And because we both do comics, at least semi-professionally, what we use a lot is either Bristol or Canson. Well, it's Bristol board essentially. It's Strathmore or Canson Bristol board. And I don't know if I have any of that displayed in here, but
I do.
You do?
Well, it's a mixture.
That's fine. But it looks like that. It's a heavier paper. And it is a cardstock. It comes in a slightly larger size. And then you can also use like media and illustration board if you're doing wet comics or colored comics with like paint and things. Pencils, all kinds of pencils. How many of you guys use? Oh, do not tell me I didn't bring my
Do you need me to get mine?
pencil bag.
Hang on.
I'll need it earlier. How many of you guys use blue pencils? You know what they are? Non-photo blue pencils.
Papers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you can get them from Jet Pens and get them in.
There's lead in there. The color, you know, lead.
Yeah.
Da-da-da-da.
You can get them in lead. And and then you can, so there's a lot of different pencils you can use. For graphite pencils, there's of course mechanical pencils, there's regular wooden lead pencils, there's lead holders, which are actually architectural pencils.
I don't happen to have one with me.
That's
sorry.
fine, I don't either.
Go wonder.
Some people like them, some people don't. I don't use them. Blue pencils, we talked about these a bit. They're great because they do reproduce in that when you scan them, you'll pick them up, but you can drop them out easily in Photoshop and stuff and get rid of them, so no one ever knows that you just used some blue pencil. And it looks like you have this nice, instead pencil sketch that came out perfectly. As for inking comics, we just talked about some of the nips, but the tech pens, there's micron. I got mine. I just can't find my pencil case. There's these microns. They're okay. They break easy. They run out of ink. They're disposable, but they're cheap.
And they're easy to line.
You have several different kinds of Copics who have these Copic multi-liner SPs.
Which have a replaceable ink cartridge that works with the different. There's two. It's kind of confusing. They have a system. There's two types of ink cartridges. The ink cartridge that works with
the larger nibs.
0.05 through like 3, and then 5 and 7, and then
yeah, the nibs are replaceable. The ink cartridge is replaceable. So you have this steel-barreled pen that lasts forever, essentially.
I've had mine about 3 years. And they're kind of beaten up.
So when you break the nibs, you can just get new ones. And then there's like pit pens. Some people absolutely swear by these. I don't like it much.
I don't like them either.
Yeah, they're felt tip pens. All these are felt tip pens. They're a lot easier to handle than like she's using a nib right now, and I use brush to ink a lot of times. These are easier to handle. They're better to start out with. They're a lot cheaper. They don't require as much practice to get the hang of. But they'll tend to give you a very dead weight line, as you don't get a lot of line variance with them.
If you want to remedy that, there's also brush pens with synthetic or real bristles. There's brush pens with rubber tips, and then there's something called a Fude pen, which is a Japanese sign pen, so they use it to sign their name when they're signing for packages and such. But it's got a rubber tip, but it's very fine, and you can pull a very delicate or a very heavy line with it, which I actually really like, except the ink is kind of meh.
But these are the most portable of all the brushes, so you can, of all the
Inking
ink supplies, so you can take them anywhere. If you do want to use ink and nib or ink and brush, you have to get ink, and there's a lot of different kinds of ink. There's like Bombay, Winsor Newton, FW. I just have pictures of up there, but Winsor Newton is what she's using. It's also my favorite. I find that it's an India ink, and you want to make sure it's an India ink or an acrylic ink if you ever want to put anything water-based over it, otherwise it'll bleed like crazy.
But it's not compatible with Copic markers.
This is.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Girl.
I use it with Copic markers.
I do too. Well, I've tried, and
Okay.
like the face went.
So apparently the ones I have are.
Love you
and-
more.
Yes.
People opening it to come through, and they're like, oh.
So,
That's nothing to you viewers.
so the real answer is test it before you.
Yeah, always.
Yeah.
And not on the piece you're working
Yeah.
on.
Acrylic ink is compatible with everything because it's an acrylic binder, so it's plastic. And once you put it down, it's not going anywhere.
But it will also clog up your pens, and it's harder to clean. Like you can clean nibs with a little bit of rubbing alcohol, and you let it soak, but the acrylic won't come out.
Now we'll talk about nibs, and there are several different kinds of nibs.
Can you borrow mine?
No, I've got all mine right here. I keep them all together. You guys, if you want to come up and look at them, that's fine too. There are calligraphy nibs, which I use to letter with. I do my own lettering on my comics. And calligraphy nibs, this one is a C4. They come in A, B, and C.
There's also D, but they're
I
mythical
think
beasts.
I think that they are a lie.
Apparently they quit making them, that's all.
We've never seen them, so someone kept telling us they existed. This is a C nib, so it's a calligraphy nib, and it doesn't have like line variation. It's there to make calligraphy style letters. Then you also have your drawing nibs, which are this one is like a Hunt 107. There's also like a Hunt 104 and or something like that. They're very fine, very delicate nibs. And you have G nibs. This is what most mangaka use as a G nib. They're very flexible. They're nice, and they're steel, and so you can pull nice fine lines, or if you press harder, you can get thick variation. And this spoon one, it'll give you even more. When you press it, it'll widen out even more.
Tachikawa manga tank, and it has a reservoir on the back, so it'll hold ink longer. Yeah, it's
This
just
one I've never
quality.
used.
Careful, because there's ink in it.
All right, this one I never used, but you can see it says
It's nice. I like them.